Hey guys, welcome in. We are working on the last of the Turkish spindles for the festivals today. So we're going to cut the outsides of these out, then we're going to come back and cut out all the insides. Pretty fun and exciting stuff. So if you guys are watching this stream after it's done, my name is Scott. I have been a woodworker as long as I can remember. I've been doing this full-time since 2013. And we are cutting out Turkish drop spindles that are used to spin yarn. So this is what came before the spinning wheel. And good morning. So we are cutting, this is cherry. These are the little standards. Not little, lil. We're going anti-Little Debbie. So this wood is 5/8 of an inch thick. And we are using a Pegasus scroll saw. Which I bought because I do production work, so I spent a lot of time on the scroll saw. I also have the Bauer scroll saw, which is actually really nice for under $300. I did a review on a Buck 16-inch scroll saw. I think that's more like 5. I was glad for doing the review. And then I got a little old Craftsman and a 1950s scroll saw as well. So... So I do the majority of my production work on this saw here. And then when I make videos, I use the other saws. And the buck tool is actually set up in the basement for when it gets way too hot up here. We don't have air conditioning in the workshop. We got air conditioning in the little front room, but it doesn't travel back here, so. If it gets too hot, we'll do some spooky scroll saw action in the basement. Huh. Odd. Hello, welcome in. Hey, Dion, how's it going? Hey, Heaven. So I'm finally getting on the saw now. It's about 9:45. I got here at about 5:30. I've been making briquettes this morning. Last day. This should be it for the festivals. I mean, I'm still probably going to be making about a dozen a day besides that. But yeah, so after this, I'm going to be focusing on top whirls and supported spindles and top whirls. So. So somebody did order a custom spindle that's made per order. So it's basically their state spins yarn. So I had to make one that says Oklahoma spins yarn. So I had it done. It could have went out yesterday, but it was still kind of stinky from the finish. So I let it air out. Actually, it would have been Monday. So yeah, Tuesday. So we let it air out a couple days. So that's got to go out today. And then we have a few orders that we can slap with that. So I got to go to the post office today. I've got an eye appointment. So that should be fun. Nothing better than getting your eyes dilated. So a little nervous about that. They're checking my retinopathy today. Hopefully it's not getting any worse. So we'll see. How do they do that? They dilate your pupils, and then they shine light into your eyes with like a magnifier, and they look. Retinopathy is like blood vessels breaking in your eye, and then they count how many there are. And then compare it to the last time they did that. So. I'm not a big fan of having my eyes dilated. You know, the free sunglasses are really nice, but the headache's not so much. So usually, you know, my day is shot after that, you know. So more than likely I'll be taking a very, I'll go to bed rather early tonight. My appointment's at like 4. So have some dinner and just kind of take a nap for a while, see how I feel. You know, I do have magnifiers that I can use, but they kind of get in the way of the camera, so I don't use them when I'm filming. So yeah, so I have been converting, files over to the CNC machine. So rather than cutting out by hand, Vicky can plug it into the CNC machine and poop this out. All right. So yeah, I think I got probably about 25 more to cut out. And I'm going to need shafts for these too, so hopefully I'll have these all done today. I'll have them cut out today. The shafts might be tomorrow. So I'm using a rat-tailed bastard file just to run through, just to verify that the holes are centered to each other in both directions. Because if it can only go together one direction, then that's no good. Although that is a great band, One Direction. Oh, did you guys hear that Frank Beard died? The drummer from ZZ Top. The only member from ZZ Top that, in fact, didn't have a beard for most of their time. Yeah, Billy's the only one left. Yeah. It was kind of, when the other member died, the guitar tech took over, and he was their guitar tech for, 20-some years. So... And, Billy, had that reoccurring roll on Bones, which I thought was hilarious. Great played Angela's father. All right. So now these were the little minis. So now we have some small Apex that we'll be laying out. This is Yellow Heart with dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. Hello, welcome in. So these kind of fall into the cute category. These are for like cobweb to lace weight yarn, really, really, really thin. I think these wind up as decoration more than being used. But that's my own personal guess. I don't know. They're fun, but unless you're, have a need for really, really, really thin yarn. And there's people who will come to my booth and like, oh, you call that small, and they'll have a smaller one. I'm like, okay, you win. Dragoon flies. I got some alpaca and or llamas. You can call them whatever you'd like to. It can be the camelid of your choice. It is functional. It absolutely is. I forgot to drill this hole. On these little guys, you can get, about 100 yards of cobweb on them. Which is the length of a football field, but it's not going to weigh anything. Which is the length of an American football field. There we go. A little snug. So do you have any, this is it, right? Do you have any more to laser engrave? Are you making any more mini Apex or?
No, I believe I'm done. I believe I'm going to be finished with that because that's plenty, right?
I would say that's plenty.
For the two shows, I think that's more.
Yeah. I mean, if we sell out at one show, we got what? Oh, we got
Yeah, and I don't see that happening.
2 weeks where we can make more.
Yeah. No, I think that's plenty. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, all this stuff is extra for when you want to do stuff that's not.
Right. So this is for this pile's for the show. I'm gonna get this cut out today.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna shoot to get the shafts done today. If they don't get done today, they'll get done tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I can focus on everything else. I should make a list. And I can check it twice. What's that?
I should make a list also.
Right. And I got to start working on those top rolls. So we're probably going to have to go buy a sheet of plywood, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's unfortunate things for getting ready for shows. We need a ton of inventory. But, you know, the cost of materials start kind of digging in. But you need materials, you need supplies. Yeah, so that first show, Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, is our best show of the year. Probably because I'm a local boy. So this is African Padouk. All right, then we're back to the Red Heart. And how many spindles are you sanding today? 45, you said?
48.
48. Mm-hmm.
I'm in a package right now.
Okay. Um,
We bought 2 7-inch straps.
okay.
Unless they gotta get better.
When do you want to run to the post office? Do you want to go like noonish?
That's fine, sure.
Yeah. And then we can come back and work for a couple hours. Then we can come back and work for a couple hours. And then probably go home at around 3
Home around 3.
so I can take a shower and, you know,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was a good idea to schedule late in the day so we don't ruin our entire day.
Right? Yeah, because, I assume they're gonna dilate your eyes.
Oh, they're gonna dilate my eyes.
So I think I'm gonna, if I'm up for it, I'll probably drop you off and we'll do next year. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel.
All right.
Yeah, because then you should just probably, go in bed and lay down. Turn the lights on.
Put the rake top down so my hair can blow. Yeah. Maybe I'll just close my eyes and listen to the entire Dark Side of the Moon album. Yes. Hey Cleo, how's it going? What's that?
Did I end up giving you the, pack of Apex? The cherry Apex?
I I don't know.
Maybe I didn't do that.
I thought you couldn't find the file, so oh, that was the cats.
Right. That's not
Yeah.
We're good. No worries.
Okay.
It's not like, I think we have enough.
Okay. I'd have to put on my headphones for that. I don't think the Amazon Alexa would really give you the full experience. You love little animals on those? Yeah, little bunny rabbits. I think it adds to them. You know, cuteness goes a long way. I believe these are Brazilian cherry. I could be wrong. It was much easier when my lumber mill had Coco Bolo, because I could just say, hey, look, it's Coco Bolo. But they haven't had Coco Bolo in probably a year. They've had Brazilian cherry. No. Brazilian, what is it?
What?
Brazilian rosewood. I believe this one. Bolivian. Okay, so this is Bolivian rosewood. This is Brazilian cherry. So many questions. Can we see an assembled one? I could put a shaft on one. So that's what they look like. So this will be all sanded and rounded over. And yeah, so that's what they look like. Not a problem. Yeah, so these are usually, I would not start people out on a spindle this size. That being said, if you want to start with a spindle this size, I'm not going to stop you. So if you're new to the stream, my name is Scott. We are actually building inventory for my day job. So the channel is about making things, and since I'm getting ready for a few fiber shows, I figured, I might as well live stream this. So now we're to Purple Heart, which turns pretty brown once you saw on it. So the purple will come back with UV or heat exposure. So if you would set it in the windowsill when it's sunny out, it will turn purple pretty quick, a couple hours. Hey Ash, how's it going? So that being said, you don't want to have these sitting on a windowsill all the time. Otherwise, they'll go from purple to black. Do you have two different YouTube channels? I do. I have Snyder Spindles, and then I have this channel. So the Snyder Spindles channel is pretty much, I had videos on there that were like over a decade old. So I went through and I pretty much cleaned house on that other channel. I will put some tutorial videos up there, but yeah. Good to hear. So yeah, this channel was never meant to be spindly, but I need to get this stuff done. Let's see. Hey, Kay McCall, how's it going? Welcome in. And hello. Awesome. I'm glad they're helping you. Yeah, as far as the full-length production videos, those are going to have to wait till after I'm done with my shows. Then I got to find something interesting to make, I suppose. All right, these are tiger maple. Can almost see the stripes, right? You also have a YouTube channel? That's awesome. Wood turning for beginner series, that'd be good. I was actually watching wood turner instructional videos this morning. Well, an old video from like the 80s. Early 80s. The information does not change though. Techniques will change over time, but for the most part. Good information is always good information. Drop spindles are still around? Absolutely. It's definitely a niche thing. But I enjoy making them. You know, with having online marketplaces, I mean, it's opened up the world, you know? Yep, so we sell these online. We have an Etsy store, plus I have a website for the United States. Just Etsy makes it easier for international orders. I sell a lot, you know, domestically as well, but Just makes it a little bit easier on you. But yeah, online, and I do some limited wholesaling, so they are in some yarn stores. And then I do festivals. That's what these are for. These are going to be for Wisconsin Sheep and Wool in Lambstown, which is in Dixon, California. And then if we have things left over, they'll be going to SAF at the end of October, which is in North Carolina. It's in Fletcher, which is really close to Asheville. That's the biggest town by it. Yep, so this is a very small business. It's just me and my girlfriend. She's been my partner for a long time. And it's one of those things where we decided that we don't want to have a bunch of employees. We don't want to deal with any of that stuff. So it's just the two of us. Hey Thomas, how's it going? Welcome in. Apple top news stories. All right. Hey guys, welcome in. I'm going to say Nare. I hope that's right. And I'm going to say Fabio. I am not a nameologist. Hey Responder, how's it going? Welcome in. So today we're kind of chilling on the scroll saw. I've got probably another 15 or 20 to cut out. Then we'll be heading over to the lathe to make some shafts. Hey Cheryl, welcome in. Hey Jacob. Oh, I appreciate it. You know what they say, practice makes better. Or gooder. Can we see a finished one? Sure. Let me just finish up this one. A little bit higher. So I'm cutting to the inside of the lines I made. So you can always take more material off, but you can't put more material back on. So there we go. So it's very humid in here, so these are going to be about as big as they're going to be. There we go. So in the wintertime, they're going to shrink. All right. Yeah, I'm doing well, responder, definitely. Just kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty. So these all need to be sanded and finished for the shows. So I'm going to go from making them to sanding them pretty quick. So here's a few of the show ones. Put one together. So there's a canary wood one. It weighs 1.1 ounces or 30 grams. So yeah, that's what the Turkish look like. And then we have some top whirls, which they'll dangle in the air, and they have a hook on the top. We got some supported spindles that sit in a bowl to spin. These are Tibetan style. Then I also have some Russian style. So you'll put them in a bowl, spin them, and then you'll be making the yarn on the top here. There's a few that are spun up. So I've been working on this one. So this is the current one I'm spinning up. So this one here is a new size that I have not put on the market. I need to spin it up entirely to see how much it'll hold. And then Vicky's over here making Destinies. Hey, can you show him the spindles on the rack for a second? I have to pee.
Sure.
All right. I'll send you the picture.
No. What happened? There we go. So these are our racks. So this side is Etsy, and this side is Shopify. So that's how we kind of keep things separated and organized. Yeah, and don't believe me because things are not organized. I like to jump the gun when I list stuff, and stuff will be like on my table to sand and I'll list it. Scott hates that. So, yeah. But we got all kinds of different spindles. We got some mini Turkish, some more mini Turkish, some cutouts. But yeah, that's pretty much how we attempt to keep things organized.
Finish up the coffee.
Yeah. And we store our boxes over here in the corner. So when we're packaging, we pull what we need. And we got our fiber in balls. And then we have more fiber under our table. Check out the messy shop, guys. It's just horrible.
Don't check out me. I'm not wearing a shirt.
So I'll try not to, yeah, it is quite the disaster when we are getting ready for shows, because we are just really busy and we kind of let things slide, unfortunately. And then we clean after the shows are done, and things usually look pretty good. Check out the messy couch.
Did you say it was a casting couch?
No, messy couch.
Okay.
Messy couch. Casting couch. Seriously?
That's
Wow.
perfect.
And our
Chicken?
our chicken, our nice pictures. So when we were in the house, I was always like, hey, when we have wall space, we can get all kinds of pictures to hang up. And we've definitely done that in our sign. Pickle Rick. And a giraffe, fox. So yeah, so we definitely have plenty of wall space yet. Oh, and then this one here, this one's good. This one constantly stares at me. No need to explain at your shop. You can do what you want, right? Thanks, Dion. Yeah, so
It'll be clean when
It
we're
will.
done with the shows. It's just
yeah,
usually I'll
But-
clean before a couple days before the show. We'll straighten up a little bit so we're not coming home to a disaster.
right. And you can imagine being in a little. So we live in a 16 by 80
Yeah.
trailer. So you can imagine what kind of a disaster it would be before a show, because we would have product. And now, granted, we didn't have this much stuff, basically we would have, just the equipment, and then all the spindles. Now, this stuff over here, now this is nice because we have the space to be able to store stuff. We wouldn't have been able to do this in the house. There just wasn't enough room. And I do remember Scott strung some, oh my gosh, wire, the
Picture frame.
the picture framing, picture hanging wire. And we would hang our top whirls on those to dry. And we would stain on our porch. We have a closed-in porch. So yeah, it is definitely very nice to have the space. And it didn't take us long to fill it up. So,
Yeah. So that wire right there. I say have a lifetime supply.
yeah.
So I take it apart and I only use 2 threads, and I think there's like 15 per. And I've also got a bin full of this too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely, right?
I use it so it's not technically boarding.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, and I know we stopped buying those kits, but you're going to have that wire for, I think that stuff's going to outlast you.
Yeah, it's gonna be there till the end of time.
So, yeah. Okay, here. You take the phone back.
All right. So I got to use the restroom. I got to get more coffee. And I put a t-shirt on, which I will take off. I just didn't want to scare the neighbors. So yeah, so we've been making the briquettes. So basically I mix sawdust and wood chips and like paper, like cardboard together, put it in this press, and then I use a jack to press the water out of it. And then we're making these bricks. And then I'm going to be burning them this winter. We'll leave them out here. It's not going to rain. It's going to be 79 degrees out here, so I'll leave them out here till we leave. We'll put them inside, bring them back out tomorrow. And if I leave them in the sun and if it's hot, usually in about a week they'll be dry. If I would leave them in the shed, it would take considerably longer. So that's what I did this morning when I came into work today. So I finished up one bag. Yes, they're briquettes. So they're just burning bricks. So this is the sawdust I have currently that I have to go through. There's like 7 or 8 bags. Yeah. And then, once they're dry, I box them up. So these are just ready to burn. So we'll see how well they burn. This is an experiment, so I'm not going to do a video about it until it's freaking until I start burning them. But it works. It's not the best. I can see why when you buy the pre-made ones for the log starters, the big ones, that they're wrapped in paper. I didn't want to use wax. I use wax for my fire starters. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, like I said, huge mess. So for the fire starters, I just use these little like Dixie cups and fill them about 3/4 with sawdust, and then put a little bit of wax in there. So, all right, we just did a shop tour, but we'll do a quick one again. Typically, this whole sanding station, when I'm not dropping cups on the floor, is usually against that wall. But the landlord hasn't fixed the leaky roof yet, so I got everything pulled over. And it's still my fault, right? So we just got this one yesterday. I had one for about 2.5 years, I want to say, and the oscillating belt snapped on it, and they were showing signs of wear, so we just got a different one. And then the messy chop saw area. And we got a little router table. Got the CNC machine, whatever that bandsaw is called, and the table saw. And then we come over here. We got the shop piano. And then we got 3D printers over here. Photography area. So this is what I use to dry the filament. I also have a little dryer right there as well. We got a old CO2 laser back there. We have to keep it. Now that it's finally paid off, you know. Then we got a little F1 Galvo laser there. Yeah. And then over here is the S1. These are diode lasers. This is a 40-watt diode. And honey, we got to remember that we have all these that are freaking. I got to make shafts for all these.
Yeah.
Or at least some of them.
Yeah.
Yep. So. The projects tend to be beginner to intermediate, like scroll saw projects. We do some turning as well. You know, just real basic kind of. I do a lot of introductory things, and I do like equipment reviews as well. So everything from go over here. So I did a video to show how a spiral blade works on a scroll saw, so you can make something much larger than your scroll saw. So we made a video where I made this anti-disestablishmentarianism sign, you know, on a 20-inch scroll saw. It's a little longer than 20 inches. We did a video making this key rack here, which uses the 3M, can't think of what they're called, Velcro hangers. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I really haven't dived into 3D printer, laser graving, or CNC. It's been pretty much scroll saw and lathe to this point in time. Once we get through these shows, I would like to, you know, do some more tutorial stuff on the lathe and the CNC machine. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we are just kind of getting ready for a couple fiber shows. So we're kind of focusing on that. So I never intended for the live streams to be about making spindles, but you know, I'm a spindle maker. I got to make spindles. I mean, all right. So this is 5/8 inch cherry. Honey? Vicky? Yes. Now, we're going to lose one of these cherry plying spindles because the wood is bad. There's a void in there. So if you want this number...
Oh, I got you. I have to lay out more. Yeah.
You'd have to lay out another
I
one.
thought I missed it.
It's okay.
But, okay.
I just wanted to let you know right away, just in case you wanted to lay out another one.
Right, exactly. No, I think we'll be fine.
All right.
It'll be plenty.
Yeah. Hey, B, how's it going? Welcome in. All right, so this board here is about 20 inches long. What we're gonna do is we're gonna chop it into smaller pieces. I see cat thumbnail. That's all you really need. That's normally had my female cat as a kitten. This time we went with Jordy. He's my big boy. He's I did. That's awesome. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it, man. It's once you get the hang of it, just it's magical. It really is. Hey, welcome back. How's snowboarding kid doing today? Nothing much, just finishing up these, and then we can go on to something else. Good to hear. This is walnut. Hey, speaker. So these will be drop spindles for spinning yarn. So I'm gonna sneak over here. I need to drill some entry holes here and here. Well, we'll keep your fingers crossed for you. So, does the repetitiveness get to you much sometimes? Not really, but you know, I am human, so yeah, once in a while. I'm also neurodivergent, so this is like kind of what I'm built for. Prior to this, I did factory work for almost 20 years. So at least this way, I'm my own boss. So, but yeah, it can get old, but you know, it's more stress related than actually doing it, you know. That wasn't so bad. Yeah, I mean, I am not I'm a blue collar guy. It's just the way I am. Sitting behind a desk would drive me insane. But you know, it's not like I do the same thing every day. It sure seems that way in the videos. But you know, if I'm going to live stream for 2 hours, I'm going to be doing something where I can set up a camera and not have to move it, you know. So this is 1/2 inch. This is actually resin impregnated wood. This is called Duralux. So this stuff you sand and then you buff, and it has like a mirror type finish to it. So it's very, very hard. This blade is getting pretty dull, so I'm going to see how far I can get on this blade with this. And then I'm going to go back to the maple and cherry and walnut with a new blade. And then when I'm done, I will go back and cut out the rest of these. I mean, off the scrolls, though, that's just an amazing finish. Give me 1 second. Man, that was an impressive sneeze, by the way. So you can sit down and turn stuff. That's amazing, yeah. I have not gotten to that point yet, but I'm kind of looking at that as well. For the shafts, I would almost have to cut the handles off all my tools because I'd be too close. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of concentration going on. I've been scrolling since about the 1987, so... Hey, Ryder, how's it going? Welcome in. Just waiting on your 3D printer? Yeah, that'll happen.
I know that we don't show our, we don't show our setup very often, but, or our packing up, when we're trying to get everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you would want to try?
As far as getting everything together, going to set up at the show and run the show and then pack up.
Well, no, I'm more of just the whole, the process of us, packing everything into the bins or whatever, the
Organizational kind of our thought behind
that.
it.
Do you want to do a live stream on that part, and then
Oh yeah, we could do that.
do you want to literally take them with us while we're driving, and then set up, and then once the show starts, then obviously we will.
You want to live stream the setup?
Would they be
I don't know if people would be interested in that.
right? That's why I was just curious. I mean, like I said, I know we don't normally do that because that's something that we don't think people want to see that, but
Right. I mean, we could live stream that, but it's going to be a very, if we're setting up, it's going to be kind of a...
yeah, it's gonna be we're not gonna be talking very much. You're gonna have to just
Right.
basically watch.
Just watch us wandering around.
Yeah. So, and it's one of those things where, it but I don't know. I mean, Dion might be the only one that would be
At all interested?
Well,
we'll see.
In any of that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we'll try it.
I mean,
It's not going to hurt anything. So,
right,
yeah, definitely.
right. So, and I know just one more thing. I don't know, because then you're gonna end up, having to carry the
Just a little tripod or whatever.
And it might be more of a
Headache.
hassle or headache.
Well, we'll see.
So,
Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea, though. Maybe you should write that down so we have it. Gravy. I've never seen the kids version, but that's pretty cool. I started when I was 12. I started my kids out right around that age. I think my daughter was 10, but she was a little bit more responsible than my son. He waited till he was 12. But you're thinking everybody was greeting in Spanish, but it was your YouTube sneakily turned into Spanish and it was showing up as hello in Spanish. So yes, so hola, ¿qué pasa? Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. 3D printers have gotten a lot easier over the last few years. I've been 3D printing since I want to say 2016, so it's been a decade. And yeah, they're not quite an appliance yet, but they're getting easier. That's for sure. So yeah, I actually started out with Ultimaker 2s. I did a Kickstarter campaign. I had an idea for a spindle. How much does a small one of these cost? They start out right at around 20, 25 and go up from there. These will be a little bit more than... So these will be more than the exact same spindle made out of a different wood because this material is so much more expensive. Yeah, start scaling stuff until it fits. Yeah, so this resin impregnated stuff is really nice once you buff it. It's like a mirror type finish. You bought a lot of blades for your scroll saw, and you've only used 3 since last time we spoke. Well, that's not a bad thing. You're getting your money's worth out of them. You know, I'm probably going to go through 3 blades today, especially if I'm cutting this stuff. This stuff's like cutting rock. You know, as far as blades go, as long as you're not having to push real hard, you know, if you can get some more life out of your blade, that's awesome. So I'm tending to kind of push the limits on the saw. I'm cutting as fast as I can within reason, if that makes sense. I'm actually, probably today or tomorrow, I have to order more blades. I got like tons of blades, but the ones that I really like for cutting this kind of stuff, this is what I got left from the gross. I've got probably 14, 15 left. So I order these direct from the manufacturer. It just makes them a little bit more inexpensive than buying them like at the store. So. Right. I mean, I was a hobbyist for many, 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 many years, you know. I just always loved cutting. It's just shut your brain off and just kind of ride it. Oh, why am I holding up? Oh. Oh, there's an Amazon truck. Okay, we're going to wait for for a rider to come back. Yeah, the good old scroll saw. So this is a 21-inch Pegasus. Okay, good. So I'm not allowed to buy any more scroll saws until I get rid of. Yeah, this is dyed, laminated. I believe it's yellow birch, and then it's resin impregnated as well. So we'll see how these go over at the festival. I have a fan on me right now, so yeah, I'm not cutting a ton of it, so I'm not really overly concerned, but I think I'm going to move my fan a little bit. Yeah, if I was cutting this stuff all day, I would have protection, that's for sure. That's a little better. No, I'm not running a vacuum. It would just be too loud. I've got a DeWalt Shop. Is it a Shop Sonic? Like, it's about half the volume and it's still too loud for streaming. So if I would be cutting this stuff out all day, I would have a vacuum hooked up to it. But since I'm only doing a couple pieces, I'm not too worried about this stuff. And, as far as the maple and cherry and stuff, I'm not really concerned about that. So, you know. Yeah, so in the shop, I have 3 dust extractors, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shop vacs. So I definitely run the stuff when I'm not streaming. Who inspires me? That's a hard question. That's way too deep for me, man. We're gonna say Peter Frampton. Okay. Can your fingers get cut on that? They're so close to it. Yeah, they sure can. This isn't like a bandsaw, so it's not gonna cut your fingers off. So worst case scenario is you'll get a Band-Aid style cut. I usually catch myself a couple times a year. It's a put a Band-Aid on and get back to work sort of thing. I'm not saying you can't. You know, if you're using a really big blade, you can cause some damage, but nothing compared to like a bandsaw. You have a great day too. Have the day you deserve. Fighting words. Are we coming back? Hey, we're back. What's your favorite movie? Yours is Exposure Day by Spielberg. I have never seen it. Oh man, these are rough questions. I like Tropic Thunder quite a bit. Close Encounters, yes. Good movie as well. Strange Brew, great movie. I think some of Rick Moranis' finest work. Straight from SCTV. Blues Brothers, great movie too. They Live, brilliant movie. Anybody who will fight for like 10 minutes over putting on a pair of sunglasses, and then one of the best lines ever in a movie: I have come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Blade Runner is a great movie too. Which does raises a question: do androids dream of electric sheep? I prefer the original. The book's okay. I think the movie's better, but that's just me. Meaning of Life, have not seen it. Not the Monty Python one. But you can watch it on YouTube. Cool. Halibut. Well, I didn't have the fish.
You know, I'm not sure that I've seen that original movie in its entirety.
What movie?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner? Really?
I don't know. I may have. If I did, it was a long time ago.
And you try not to get frantic over it. Huh? 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 Like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. The movie Never mind. No. It's a Bare Naked Ladies line. I guess there's a movie called Frantic. I've never seen it. Oh, and way back in the day, I'm talking late 90s, early 2000s, there was a Blade Runner video game. And it was pretty amazing. Now, yeah. Now it probably sucks, but when it came out, it was an amazing video game. Because you could choose which side you were going to be fighting on, you know. And it depended on who you listened to and who you dispatched. I think one of the best horrible movies would be Exit to Eden. Dan Aykroyd, Rosie O'Donnell, and Dana Delaney. Horrible movie, but Dana Delaney is naked in it. Thank goodness Rosie O'Donnell was not. Yeah, Total Recall. The original's so much better. Attack the Killer Tomatoes. Yeah. You know, you gotta appreciate movies for what they, for what's going on, I don't know. Pretty much any movie that's on Mystery Science Theater 3000 is probably worth a watch. Oh, Sisu. Have you seen that movie? That was pretty good. It's SISU. It's a Finnish word. It's one of those movies that are totally non-realistic. And it's a lot of death and destruction. Yep. So there's two pieces. So when we lay them out, we try to get them on the same board or the same piece so they match. Yeah. So if you notice, I cut the thin part out first. So that gives me some meat and some stuff to hang on to. So if I would cut the second, I'd be really, really close to the blade, which I do not want to do. See, Sue, actually, oh, what's the Finnish thing that they always did on Mystery Science Theater? Oh, Sampo! Sampo! They did that for quite a while. So, Sampo is from the Kaliva, which is like the myth of Finland, their mythical story. So Sampo was the money machine, where it was basically like a big fire, and then supplies and troops and things you needed would come out of the fire. Yeah, it's more, yeah. Um, it's worth a watch. It really is. It's totally unrealistic, and yeah, but it's a good movie. You know, it's not a Schindler List kind of movie. It does, you know, it's kind of like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Is it worth the watch? Absolutely. Is it a classic? Yes. Do I own it on DVD? Yes. Do I watch it a lot? No. Is it my favorite movie? Absolutely not. But, you know, it's sitting right next to Rocky Horror Picture Show. And, you know, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So it's, yeah. Yeah. Let me just hit this. So this isn't sanded, right? It has to be sanded yet, but just let me throw it on the buffing wheel really quick. Oh, it's hard to say, man. Kind of depends what kind of mood I'm in. My favorite movie or my favorite wood? So yeah, that's just with buffing without sanding it, because it's got that resin. So off the saw, a little bit of buffing. Now I'm gonna sand it smooth. It's already smooth, but it's not smooth. And it's gonna be shinier than that. Movie. Yeah. Oh man. For a comedy over a drama or whatever. But let's go with Life of Brian, Monty Python, Life of Brian. Great movie. It's got everything: hatred towards Romans, aliens, a shoe, full frontal male nudity. You know, everything a growing boy needs, you know? One of the most hilarious uses of full frontal male nudity ever, I would have to say. Come on. It's amazing that I got disconnected for a second there right when I got to the swearing part. Those are my elderberries. The stoning scene is amazing. I know they got in a lot of trouble because one of the outfits they were wearing was like a high priest, some Jewish high priest thing. Got to get some. It has been fun. Thanks for hanging out. But the fact that women weren't allowed to go to stoning, so everybody at the stoning was a woman with a fake beard. And nobody is to start to stone anybody until I blow this whistle to make myself clear, even if they say Jehovah. So they stone him. It's amazing. So this is walnut. Hello, we're back. We're still a couple weeks out from our first show. We're still just building inventory right now. That's okay. Yeah, we're just, yeah. So, when is Wisconsin sheep and wool?
Here's an answer from WorkFM.org.
Oh, in early September. That's really great. Thanks. Honey, when is sheep and wool? Oh, all right. Yeah, so our first show is Wisconsin Sheep and Wool is September 10th, 11th, and 12th. What? Okay, 11, 12, and 13. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they have classes on Thursday as well. Yeah, I hope I do awesome too. We build up, enough inventory. I would like to have twice of what I think I can sell. That way, you never know what's going to be popular. So if the show's a drag, we'll just have a bunch of inventory to put online. Wisconsin historically has been our best show. Like I said, it's our local show. I don't know. People seem to get us there, I guess. So if we had 5 Wisconsin sheep and wolves, that's all we would need. I could shut down all the shops. Wouldn't have to do anything else. Hey, Al, welcome in. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Welcome in. We are making Turkish-style drop spindles that are used to spin yarn. So I have, let's see, 3, 6, 9, like 10 more to cut out. And then we'll be going over to the lathe. Then we're going to start to roll this stuff. So yeah, this is the last of the stuff for the shows. Hopefully I'll get this cut out today yet. So. And we're going to swap this blade out. So thumb screw on the top, thumb screw on the bottom, blade comes off. New blade. These are Olson precision ground tooth blades. So these are not inexpensive blades. They do have a top and a bottom to them. So the majority of the blade, the teeth face down. So when it cuts down. And on the bottom, the teeth face the other direction, so they cut on the upstroke. So what that does is help prevents tear out on the bottom. Because this is just a reciprocating blade, it just goes up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, so this is hard maple. This is 5/8 of an inch thick. So most of my spindles, the Turkish, are either a 1/2 inch or 5/8 of an inch thick. I feel 3/4 is a little bit too big, and anything under a 1/2 inch is a little bit too thin. So these are plying spindles. These are the largest ones I make. So these would be for making, you would spin a bunch of thin pieces, ply them together to make them thicker. That's what this is for. So these are for like art yarn or plying. So to give you an idea of the difference of sizes, this is one of the smallest ones. That's one of the largest one. Are 3D printed crap taking over textile shows too? Somewhat. As a purveyor of 3D printed crap, as long as it's like fiber arts oriented, I don't really have an issue with it, but yeah, there's some of it going around. So yeah, this year I have, if it's not a 3D printed tool, it's not going to be in the shop. I've sold dragons like pretty big dragons for like $15, and that would cover my gas and my camping and that sort of stuff. Because the truth of the matter is, not everybody at these shows are spinners or whatever. There's a lot of people who just come in, off the street to go look at sheep or whatever. So sometimes you kind of need to do that. It depends on kind of, what position you're in. But as far as like little clicky things and things that, yeah, it happens. But everything I made was very affordable. It wasn't, it wasn't soaking people, which is a big thing. Right? So, here, let me give you an example of the 3D printed stuff that I make. So, I do the 3D printed spindles. So, I do make, so these are Turkish spindles that are made out of TPU. So, it's flexible. I do make some top rolls. And the reason for these is, these are a good beginner spindle. They're less expensive than the wooden ones. I made these little catch-all trays, but they really didn't go over very well, so they'll probably stop. But, stitch markers, felting tools, loose sets. I sell wooden ones as well. These are little twist keepers. So I'm getting away from anything like the dragons. Like this dragon here. These were $15. So I wasn't making a lot of money off them. But I made a lot of kids pretty happy. But yeah, I'm getting away from that. I'm still making, so instead of like the little 3D printed stuff, I'm making little wooden guys here. These are, a couple bucks. At a show, if you got a 6-year-old running around screaming, a couple bucks that'll entertain him for a half hour is probably worth it. So. I do the 3D printed nitty knotties, and those go for a whopping $10. So. Yeah, as long as it's a tool, I'm okay with it these days. All right. I'm not sure who you're asking as a streamer. Happy? We are making drop spindles for spinning yarn. So this is what came before spinning wheels. Yep, so I'm getting rid of a lot of the little stuff, and I'm going to be adding some more expensive bowls. What kind of chickens? Right? And you know, it that 3M double-sided tape, that very high bond stuff is amazing. I mean, that ain't going nowhere. Yeah, growing up, we had chickens. Um, we had like egg layers. We had like little banties and that kind of stuff. Turk hens. So the chickens that are missing all the hair on their legs and on their necks. Got 4 Jersey Giants. Nice. Chocolate or 3 lavender. Or pigeons. Nice. Yeah, so growing up, my father had a game farm license, so we had some pretty weird birds there for a while. So for years and years and years, we used to, I think it was a kindergarten class. We would bring in an incubator, and they would hatch out chickens at school, which is pretty neat. And then they would have them for a while, and then we'd take them back. I used to have a pet chicken. I don't even know what breed it was. It was a larger chicken where the tail, it was a big white guy, and the tail feathers were kind of bent down. He was Puff the Magic Chicken. And he used to like ride on my handlebars on my bicycle and hang out on my shoulder and on my head. He was definitely a pet chicken. I was little. I was probably 3rd, 4th grade. Get home from school, and he'd come running towards me. Good chicken. Yeah, you really don't get too. Growing up, you didn't get too attached to the animals we had, but Puff lasted. Puff was not eaten. My mom had a favorite hen named Helen, little Banty, and yeah, she lived to be a ripe old age. The chickens around here probably not so much. Naming them was a bad idea. Well, not. Well, if Puff wasn't named and if he didn't hang out on my bicycle and be my best friend, he would have ended up in a pot. I do sell these at fiber festivals. So yes, I have 2 online stores. I have an Etsy and then I have a Shopify. Just because Etsy decided to shut my store down for no reason, and it pissed me off, so I started another one. And then we sell at festivals, and we do some limited wholesaling as well. So she is technically a carrot. Yep. Yep, so the shows left this year is Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, Lambstown in Dixon, California, and SAF, which is in North Carolina by Asheville. Then in February, we'll be back in North Carolina in Raleigh for Carolina Fiber Fest. Karen, no, that's a tender subject. Do the whole Rocky Picture Show thing. I'm not familiar with that show. There's a lot of shows I'm not familiar with. Bucket list should.
No, you're not gonna be crawling on my skin, little dude.
What'd you find? Spider?
Spider.
Nice. He's dangling about 8 feet underneath your hand. Very tiny. Ah, he's gone now. Charlotte!
Where'd you go?
I'm not sure. Charlotte got away.
Yeah, I was gonna he was fine. He was dangling there and he started climbing up and
Yeah.
he came in front of my computer screen.
Oh, nice. Just saying hi. Hi.
He was tiny.
Yeah. I can't even eat the flies in here. I don't even know what's going on.
Right? Yeah, he's the flies.
Yeah, he's not big enough to eat the flies.
Times my size.
Right? A bazillion times their size. Yeah, this year has just been really bad for houseflies. It's not so bad now. For a while there, man, I was quite the swatter. So they were doing some renovations upstairs too. I don't know if There are some dead critters in the walls that can add to the fly population because I don't have anything to eat here. So I don't know. Now I swat one or two a day. So what was I talking about? Oh, if you're in Pennsylvania, have you been to New York Sheep and Wool? That's an insane show. Okay. So yeah, New York Sheep and Wool. Nobody calls it that. It's in Rhinebeck, so people refer to it as Rhinebeck. It's probably the largest show in the United States. I haven't been there in quite a while. Before I started selling on my own, I used to go with Susan's Fiber Shop, so I would work for her to sell my spindles. And yeah, I can't remember how many thousands of people go through that show in a year. I walked out there before the show opened on the opening day, and it felt like there was a line that went back 200 yards. It's crazy. A lot of pushing and shoving, though. I'm going to save that piece of wood. Hey, if you need a felt, that's perfect, you know. There'll definitely be supplies and kits and all that stuff. You know, I make a needle felting tool that holds, 4 needles. So you can stab yourself 4 times rather than just once. I mean, when you go to the fiber shows, a lot of people are selling fiber and yarn, you know. They hurt going in and coming out. I hear ya. Yeah. And like I say, I'm not allowed to do needle felting because I just make nightmare fuel. Can't sleep. Clown will eat me. I just realized what time it is. Yeah, have a great day. I'll finish cutting these two out, but I don't think I'm going to be going on the lathe right now. It's I think I'm going to be running to the post office in 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Yeah, me too. Today's not even our normal packaging day, but that's tomorrow. But I got some top rolls I need to send out. All right, I got this one standard, and then I got to run. Woo! I did get 2 hours in. That's what I was shooting for, so. So I'd just like to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. We got some stuff cut out. Alrighty. That'll work for now, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you guys next time. I'll probably be on tomorrow morning, so hopefully we'll see you then. All right, guys, have a great day, and we will catch you